All right, so I'll go over the three questions for the 10K filter again. You're going to ask yourself three things before you start any task. Does this task directly lead to revenue? Could someone else do this task for me? And if I only focus on this task for 30 days, would I make 10K? So the good thing to kind of look at it since the week hasn't started, it's Sunday night, you're probably not planning a whole bunch of things. Look back at the tasks that you did in the past week. If you keep a to-do list like I do, I know a lot of the tasks that I did this week, so I can easily look back and go through and ask these three questions for each of those tasks to figure out, are they leading to where you want to be? And that's what using the 10K filter is. So, what are some good uses of time? Some examples are following up with leads. I live by the motto, the fortune's in the follow-up. So, following up with these leads, we are all human. We are all doing 10,000 million things. We all need reminders. So, you're not bugging someone when you're reaching out for a second, a third, a fourth time to say, hey, just checking back in. How are you doing? Yada, yada, yada. And following up with those leads. That is how you generate income. That's how you build relationships. And then people start to respect the fact that you're giving them that reminder. Another good use of time, sending invoices. Sending invoices is always top priority on my list. If you're using a CRM system or some way that makes it easy to send invoices, you really have no excuse not to send it. It's going to take you less than probably 3 minutes to send that invoice. And then when they pay it, it's going to feel even better. Third, we're going through the good uses of time. So the third thing is selling your products and services. So don't be scared to talk about it. Don't be scared to sell it. People are going to need your products and services, but they don't know what you're offering if you're too scared to tell them what you have going on. So selling your products and services. Last one is booking calls. So for a while, I was like, I don't need to have calls. I don't need to have meetings. I can do everything through email. Adding those calls in, adding those follow-up calls, maybe it might start with an email, then land into a call. You build that personal relationship where people begin to know, like, and trust you. And then once you get the know, like, and trust factor, things move on a lot faster. The other thing is it puts a personality behind the emails. So I usually will start with an email and then say, hey, can we hop on a quick call? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Once I get on the call, I can really explain things that are going to be harder to explain between whether I'm trying it on text or email. So, what are some bad uses of time? And we're all guilty of these. So, don't be upset if you're like, "Oh my gosh, she's yelling at me." It's all of us. So, redesigning your logo again. I'll meet a lot of people and they're like, "Oh, but my branding, oh, but my branding, oh, but my branding, oh, but my branding." Branding is important, but the logo that you have, chances are it's just fine. And chances are, if you're redesigning it, you're using that task to avoid doing some of the tasks that you're scared to do, like following up with your leads, like sending your invoices, like selling your products and services. Your logo will be just fine. And if you need to revisit it, set a time frame and say, hey, 3 months from now, I'll revisit it. Or after I make this 10K, then I will revisit it. Another bad use of time. Watching another how to start a business YouTube video instead of executing. Stop overwhelming yourself with information and put action behind it. YouTube University is amazing. I live by it. I swear by it. I love it. It's part of my weekly routine. I'm always watching something at least one day out of the week to kind of educate myself. But I'm using those videos and I'm taking action steps after that. If you're just watching videos and watching videos and watching videos and watching videos, your business is still going to suffer and you're going to wonder why, wait, I spent 8 hours on YouTube this week learning how to build my business. Why didn't my business build? Well, you didn't build it. So don't get so obsessed with learning all the time and worry about actually implementing what you're learning. Last one, spending hours on social media without a sales strategy. Simple hack for this. Set a timer. I am only on social media for 1 hour. Then my phone goes off and says, hey, you're doing too much. Get off. Um, when you're on social media, are you a consumer or are you a producer? because the consumers are going to stay and they're going to scroll and they're going to make Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, they're going to make them very, very happy because they're staying on it. The producers are getting on, putting out what they need to put out, and then getting off and allowing the consumers to read into a lot of their information. So, drop a check in the chat if you realize that you wasted a lot of time this week doing things that didn't move your business forward. And if you did, it, it doesn't matter. Like that was last week. We're moving on to next week. We're planning for next week. So if you did, let's just not make the same mistakes next week. If it doesn't make you money or move your business forward, it's not a priority. So let's talk about next, the 80-20 rule for business growth. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So I'll repeat that one more time. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So your goal is going to be to identify your top 2 to 3 money-making actions, and that's what you're focusing on. Focus on it for this week, next week. At least get yourself going for this week, 2 to 3 tasks. I say start with two. Don't overwhelm yourself and focus on them and drive into those, and you'll be amazed the growth that you see in your business in just a week. So if 80% of your sales come from referrals, stop focusing on random content and start intentionally asking for referrals. So you're looking back at your data, you know where your business is coming from. So you know it's from referrals. So that's where you spend your time. If social media isn't bringing in business, then that shouldn't be your focus. If Instagram DMs bring in clients, stop posting just to post and start actively messaging leads. So send a DM, reach out to someone. It's amazing the results you'll get from someone by just sending them a DM and saying, "Hey, I have this." For instance, I recently launched a productivity planner. So I can easily go into my DMs, reach out to someone who I think it could benefit and say, "Hey, created this product, thought of you, let me know what you think, blah, 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 blah." And that personal touch is going to reach people a lot deeper than just them seeing a post. The other thing is you can't even guarantee that they're going to see the post that you put up. So 80-20 rule, I'll go back because that's a quick one and short one. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So figure out what's driving your business and then focus on that. So what's one task that can consistently bring you sales or clients, and drop that in the chat. So it's going to be different for everyone, and that's okay. The key takeaways for this is to focus on those tasks that bring you in money, ditch the ones that don't. Do that for 2 weeks. Figure out, okay, I've been doing this, but that's not working, but this is driving in new clients. Focus on that for 2 weeks. Leave the other ones aside. It's going to feel weird if, say, posting, you're giving up posting and going right to DMs. It's going to feel weird not putting up your post. But know that you're trying it out. You're seeing the data has already proven that it works for your business. So what do you have to lose? All right. Next one is eliminate, automate, and delegate method. The fastest way to free up time and scale is to stop doing everything manually. When I think I don't know any entrepreneur that started their business and was like, nope, I'm going to have a team. I'm going to delegate. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Nope, we wear 17,000 hats and we think we can do it all. And we do a pretty good job in the beginning. And then a little bit of burnout hits, a little bit exhaustion hits. And then we're trying to figure out what's going wrong in our business. And really, it's us. Um, Eliminate what's wasting your time with little to no return. So, what are you spending time on that's not bringing you back anything? For those tasks, you want to get rid of them. Automate. What can be done faster using technology? Email sequences, scheduling, invoicing. So, Um, those are the tasks, and especially with AI, there's so many different things you can automate. So I personally use 17 Hats for my CRM system. If a lead comes in, I have a workflow that's completely automated that nurtures my lead, gets them a response faster than I could if I was doing it myself, and then gives me the notification to let me know, hey, review this lead. They answered their initial questionnaire. I can get a feel for what they're looking for. So that way, when we hop on a call, I already know what that call is going to be about. I already know the questions they have, and I already know the services that they're looking for. So it saves me a ton of time. So instead of having an hour consultation, I can usually knock it out in between 10 to 15 minutes based on the automations that I put in place using 17 hats. And then the last one is delegate. So what can you hand off to someone else? AI, automation, CRMs, they're not going to cover everything. At some point, you're going to need to hand off to someone else. So I work with a lot of my clients for automation are photographers. And the biggest thing that we look at, unless they're like have this very distinct editing style and they want to stick with it, can you hand off your editing? If you can hand off your editing, you can shoot a whole lot more, still get the quality that your clients want, and you're bringing in more income because usually the editors, you can suck up a good portion of that cost in your pricing. And if you can't pay your editor with your pricing, it just means it's time to raise your pricing. So autom eliminate, automate, and delegate. So it's three different things. You're going to have to figure out what it is for your task. And then if you have questions, hey, join me co-working Wednesday and let's figure out what tasks we can eliminate for you. Let's figure out what tasks we can automate, or let's figure out what tasks we can delegate. If you are on IG, we are actually going to work on this. So I'd spend 30 minutes kind of going over the topic, and then I hop off live and we stay on the Zoom with people who have joined the inner circle. And we're actually working through all of these. So we're figuring out those tasks and we're building our weekly to-do list. So that way we know exactly what we're doing. We know what we're not doing this week. We know what we're paying someone else to do. And then we know what we're going to allow technology to take over. So examples of some. So eliminate. Stop manually writing new captions every day. Batch create once a week. So instead of going in every day, preparing your graphic, preparing your captions, do it once a week. Every Monday, spend an hour getting your post up for the week. AI makes it even easier. And go back and watch some of my reels. I'm big fan of Canva Bulk Create. They're going to make it even faster. And they're going to give you everything you need. They're going to build these graphics out for you. And it's going to take, I don't even know how much of a less time, but I can knock out like 30 days of like simple content in less. I think my reel was like 2 minutes long. Automate. Stop manually sending Zoom links. Use ConvertKit automation. So I use ConvertKit for my email marketing. I'm not sending Zoom reminders. I'm not sending meeting reminders. They're all being sent out either by my ConvertKit automations or using my 17 hats. I'm not going to do it. And delegate. So stop answering non-urgent DMs. Set up a virtual assistant, or if you've heard of ManyChat will answer a lot of the basics for you if you set up the automations correctly. And I won't dive too deep into ManyChat right now, but I will cover it in a later video. But ManyChat is a great way for social media to kind of interact with people and not have it take all of your time. Also, if you're doing something, so if you're promoting something, it's a great way to promote. You can send people the link instantly and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to watch your DMs. You don't have to think about a thing. ManyChat handles all of that. So, who in the chat, who in the Zoom call, who on IG, who realizes they need to automate and delegate a lot more? I know for me, great at automation. Okay at eliminating. Delegating, I could do a little bit better. So if you're doing something over and over again, chances are there's a system that you can use to automate it. So your job is to figure out one task this week that you can either automate, eliminate, or delegate and put it on your list. So list out a few, give me top five, pick one this week to do to either eliminate, automate, or delegate, and then let me know what you decide to do. If you're looking for automation help, reach out to me, show up to co-working. That is like I'm a nerd when it comes to automation. So I love talking about it. I love helping people with it. So if you're struggling with automation, reach out to me, schedule a consultation, and let me see how I can help automate some of your business so you can buy back some of your time. All right. So it is 8:20. I gave you your homework. So make sure you're going in and figuring out that task that you're eliminating. I'll do a quick overview for those of you who hopped on late. So we talked about how to stop wasting time. The first thing is the 10K filter. So you're going to ask yourself 3 questions for every task. So this is every task that you're doing. Does it directly lead to revenue? Yes or no? Could someone else do this instead of me? Yes or no? If I only focus on just this task for 30 days, would I make 10K? If you're answering no, you shouldn't be doing that task. If you answered yes to all three, that is a top priority task that should sit as high as possible, your first thing Monday morning task to do every single week. Second was the 80/20 rule for business growth. 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. So identify 2 to 3 money-making actions and focus on them this week. Last one was the eliminate, automate, delegate method. So this is how you scale. This is how you grow is eliminate. So you're going to figure out what you're wasting your time on that's giving you little to no return. What can be done faster using technology? And then what can you hand off to something else? So focus on those 3 things this week, and I promise you, you will see growth. I'm going to hop off live. We are staying on the Zoom. We're going to plan our week for the maximum profit, and we're going to figure out our 3 top money-making tasks and work through those, create our to-do list for the week. For those of you on IG that are not part of the inner circle, I highly suggest that you join. It is $47 a month. You get the Sunday night planning calls, you get the Wednesday co-working, you get the Friday office hours where you can basically ask me anything and everything that you want. And then there's also different handouts and mini courses that are included, and it's $47 a month. You can't beat it. My individual coaching rate is way higher for 30 minutes to an hour. So hopefully I will see you guys all on the inner circle. For my inner circle peeps, wait 1 second. Let me get off live and we'll get to planning our week.